Welcome to A Fine Podcast with your hosts, Amanda and
Joseph. Yeah, welcome. We are here to bring in the dance of episode 2 with our stars.
we are so excited to recap the second episode of One Hit Wonders Dancing with the Stars. I was really looking forward to it and it did not disappoint.
Yeah, we kind of saw everyone, I think at least, was improving.
It was so spectacular to see such great improvements from the first week. It was like an explosion of improvements, which was encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see, everyone is genuine about this and is trying their best and wanting to work hard, but just have fun with it and enjoy it as well. And yeah, I mean, everyone is improving.
And One Hit Wonders, it's so fun. It's just a fun theme night because it's all the songs you've heard before, which all have special meanings to our stars in different ways.
Some of them, I feel like the song was kind of like interesting. I don't know, to match a dance to, but no, nonetheless, they all kind of, the pros took it well and kind of created cool things with it. So
A lot of very entertaining dances. And yes, we will talk about some of the songs that were slowed down a little bit to make the dance, which was kind of weird to hear some of these popular songs in a slower tempo.
yeah, that's a topic for itself. But
But first, let's get into Alex and Val. They did a jive to Mambo number 5. And off the bat, I love this song so much. This is one of my favorite songs. I grew up singing this song and hearing it on in the car. And my friend's mom would play this song while she was driving us around to places in New York.
wow.
It's just like a fun, catchy song for the 90s. So I was really looking forward to seeing this dance. And off the bat, I really loved the outfits and the fun that Alex and Val had. The yellow and green were very vibrant and fun for a fun song.
Yeah. It would be fun if they actually, did a mambo with this, but I think jive is a great second. I mean,
Because it's like an upbeat song, so it's
yeah, right. Now, this was one of the ones that actually, I guess,
got slowed down.
yeah, we're running into that pretty soon. But yeah, because it felt a little, and then it kind of clicked later. But it is such this kind of more fast-paced thing, the normal, and he's really just spouting out all these names that you can't understand, but now you can understand them in the slowed down.
Alexandra, Rita,
I don't know if that's slow, but
a little bit of Jessica.
but yeah, I mean, all in all, the dance was done very well. I mean, technicals were good and the showmanship was well. The slowness was a little weird. I mean, that was just kind of more of a personal thing. But I mean, from like a skill level, everything was done very well. So
Yeah, I like the choreography that Val came up with, and I thought they both did it very well. And it was nice to see more of them or more of a focus on them rather than the big theatrics and the Ring of Fire and things that happened last week too.
yeah, I mean, I did at least enjoy. Yeah, it was more just the dancing and not so theatrical, which that's what I'd like to see more. I mean, that's what the show is. It's
Yeah.
not, it's about the dancing. It's not the crazy, all the sound effects and
It's like,
stage
ooh,
presence.
look at
and
that
all
Ring
that.
of Fire, which
Yeah.
takes your eyes off of
All right.
my
Yeah.
choreography.
Yeah. Which is kind of, I mean, as a pro, I want to show off the.
Well, definitely. In some
Choreo,
occasions, it's like it's nice to have things that complement your choreography. But I think on the first song, having the giant Ring of Fire was quite distracting in some way.
I mean, I guess it's fun. First, night. It's you're here. You're making your presence known. Whatever. But
Whatever.
not whatever. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice, just a nice. There's boom, right? You're coming in with a bang, right? And then now at least let's focus on that. So no, I think the direction they took it this episode was great, and yeah, it was she executed well.
Definitely. I was impressed. So Carrie Ann says she was incredible, a great performer. By the way, I was so excited to have Carrie Ann back because I feel like she brings this great energy to the judges panel that we didn't have last week.
Yeah, well, and I guess too, right? She's back. It's the first for her, the first episode of the new season, right? And there's always the excitement of the new season. So she did seem very like
Eager to
that,
talk.
well, and very, you know, I don't want to say lenient, but just in a good mood. So her scoring was quite high for
Yes.
some people.
Well, she was bursting with energy to talk because, she watched back last week and had all these things to say and didn't get to say them all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was very giddy, and that's fun, right? It's fun to have to see the judges, and they're very outgoing.
So Derek says it was a challenging dance. She did great, and the two of them have a powerhouse partnership. And he wants to see a few more kicks in the jive, though.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of flicks. Need some more kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like bread and butter of jive. So
Kicks
That's-
and flicks.
yeah.
And then it's Bruno's turn, and Alfonso announces that in honor of One Hit Wonders Night, the third judge to go each time will only have the ability to say one word in judgment of the song.
Oh, I must have missed. I didn't. I was wondering why they did this. I thought it was like a timing thing, which I thought was really weird. I guess that
First, I
makes
thought
sense,
that,
but-
and I was like, "Wow!" Just because Carrie Ann was missing last week, maybe they thought like the timing went so well having two people talk.
Well, yeah, that's what I don't know. It was very because I was like, what is this? This is weird because it totally removes one of the judges from really giving any input. But
they did rotate it around, like everybody had their turn, which I don't know. I go back and forth on it because it must be really frustrating for the judge to not be able to give their true feedback or a lot of feedback, or in some cases like one word just really doesn't describe what they wanted to say at all. But on the other hand, it was very entertaining to see them try to come up with one word.
yeah, they should have done. I think. Well, I don't know. I guess it's just a personal opinion, but I think like one sentence or something. I think one word just wasn't because. Especially me, if I was dancing, right? I want the critique of what they're saying, right? Because that's how I'm supposed to improve and get better scores going forward.
You just need to decipher what that one word meant.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it just right. I guess that's what you have to do. And then they had to almost kind of. I mean, and you couldn't be right. You almost either had to be, give something that was you knew it was great or wasn't bad. We'll see. With Derek, one of the words he picked, the person was unsure about what the score was, or
These
whether
got
it was
interesting.
good or bad. But
for Alex and Val, Bruno says breakthrough.
yeah, which I think was
Appropriate.
yeah. I mean,
Bruno kept using like hyphenated words, so he was trying to get as much in as possible.
well, and then towards the end, he kind of started just breaking the rule and coming up with
Well, he
saying
was
like two or three words,
gearing
but
towards
it was,
the one word.
Yeah.
So the scores 3 7s. I thought this was fitting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we kind of saw, throughout the night, right? 8 was like the spectacular, 7s was like above average, 6s was like average, and then 5 was below average, kind of throughout the grade. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was a nice above average. I mean, well performed and
Well done.
comparing, especially amongst all of them. I mean, the judges come with the score first, but being able to like hindsight look at her performance in comparison to everybody else's, yeah, I would say it was
In line.
well, yeah.
Yep. So next we have Danielle and Pasha, and they performed a cha-cha to Rhythm of the Night. And we learned that Danielle had a pretty bad hamstring tear. And then she didn't know she tore her hamstring, had a deep tissue massage, and then the massage, they went hard on it to try to help the pain in that area, and like her blood vessels just look crazy out of control. after that. They all burst, and gosh, that looked painful. They showed the picture of that. I felt so terrible for her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pull the hamstring is terrible
Ooh, terrible.
to go through. But
And then someone like deep massaged it and burst everything open.
yeah, that I was kind of unsure what. I mean, I guess I'm not a expert. Interested in why they kind of went the deep tissue out to really.
Well, I think whenever you're in pain, right? Like a good instinct is like, let me go get this work done. Like if your muscles are aching, and she just thought it was an aching muscle. So, and then she's like getting the massage, and she said it really hurt, but she thought, oh, I just have to suffer through some pain for it to get better. And then that's when she went to see a doctor, and they said what happened too. And then she mentioned on her podcast, one of the medications she's taking for her cancer really makes her prone to bleeding more. So that could have contributed to why it looks so bad.
Yeah, that makes, and they might, maybe the vessels are more fragile or something. So when they did that
Yeah.
deep tissue, it broke. I guess because ultimately, right, you're trying to get circulation increased, but
But
guess
yeah, a
they
lot
went
of
little
crazy
overboard.
things. Yeah.
But yeah, so that looks pretty bad. Well, and I mean, too, I was shocked to see her like in a dress to really show off the legs, and
she's like,
they
a
really
lot of great stage makeup.
Yeah, they did a great job covering up all that bruising.
Yeah,
But
seriously, that must have taken a long time to cover that up.
yeah,
But she saw a couple different doctors, and some doctors said she may have to get surgery. And then she saw another doctor, which said, no, you don't need surgery right now. We're just going to watch it and treat you kind of like an athlete at this point and get you through the season and manage your pain. And so initially she was really upset because she thought, I can't get taken out of this competition. This injury won't stop me. So
yeah. I mean, it is a shame because this is gonna be a hindrance to her for the rest of the time, which is sad to see. So she won't be able to, perform at her peak level. And you kind of saw this with the dance, right? And I mean, you feel bad because it is. I mean, she's trying hard, but you can tell like she's
in
fighting
pain.
through the pain, but also has to be cautious about agitating that or making it worse. So she really has to be conscious of that while trying to work hard. That's a tough balance to keep in check. So
Well, I think it's inspirational that she's pushing through the injury, continuing on, and hopefully this medicine can help her manage the pain better throughout the season.
yeah. I mean, all in all, I mean, I think she did great for having that on the
Amazing for having that injury.
yeah.
So, yeah, she still has a lot of potential. But with this performance, Carrie Ann mentions this a little bit. She says, were you breathing? And I could totally tell, like, maybe she's holding her breath in the first part of the performance. She just looks so nervous.
Well, that and I think the pain is bothering her in the middle of
So
it.
she's trying to like hold that in too.
Right.
Yeah.
You kind of hold your breath when you're in pain to fight through it, and you could tell right that she's just visibly fighting through that, which makes it your heart goes out to her for having to push through with that.
But regardless, it was a great dance. I think she did well. I really loved the cartwheel into a split move, and they decided to keep that in, which was great.
I mean, I was shocked to see something of that caliber with that injury.
That's pretty great that she was able to do that. And it looked flawless. That part was amazing.
Yeah.
But then I wrote in my notes, what happened at the end? I had to go back and look at it again and again to try to decipher what happened. And then she talked a little bit about it on her podcast that Pasha like went out to reach her hand and their hands didn't connect. And she says it was her fault, but then she was just thrown through. It looked like she fell on the floor at the end, which I was surprised the judges didn't bring that up at all, but she wasn't really facing towards the judges at that point.
Yeah, I mean they were pretty close to the table. It might have been hard for them to see the floor since that's where she was. I guess that's news if you heard that. Looking at it, it looked like that. Well, that makes sense if there was just a weak grip because it looked like he just didn't have any effort to
toss her
move
forward.
her, yeah,
Yeah.
to get her to slide under him.
What did you think when you first saw this? Were you like, oh no?
I mean, it wasn't like that bad. I mean, they did very, they made it look, as minimal as possible.
Her face, though, at one point was like, like while she was actively falling on the floor.
Yeah, and then she kind of brushed it off immediately after. But
She very good at recovery there. But she took a still of her face and now she's making memes about it, which is funny. Which I think absolutely do that. If that happened to me, I would love to do that and poke fun. But
yeah, absolutely.
it was just kind of like a crazy moment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and it really wasn't that big of a deal all in all. And I mean, they could have maybe said, I don't know, maybe it was her, from there looking at it, it could have been like her leg gave out because the hamstrings. so I think it was like probably a touchy area that even if they did see it, they may have not wanted
to poke at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bruno says he loved it. It was sensual, nice. There was ease of movement. But he said, your shoulders again.
Yeah. Yeah. She's slacking that.
She's like, oh no.
But I mean, it's hard to really fault her. I mean, her number one thing probably going through the head is the pain, right? So some of the technicals may fall to the side, which, I mean, rightly so. I mean, the safety is more important. So,
but I think she did work on her shoulders, so maybe it just, like you said, slipped in the pain or something. So,
I mean, all in all, this was still. I mean, she improved compared to last week, even with this injury. So that was a win for her, regardless.
Definitely. So Carrie Ann says she is natural and she has ease, but she did ask if she was breathing during the first half and just to relax a little bit and breathe more, which that's good feedback.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully maybe as the weeks go on, and she is around, that the pain could subside a little, right? Like this is probably going to be hopefully the worst pain that she's in. And maybe as that subsides, that I think, right, because trying to smile and, the stage presence is going to be a heck of a lot more of a challenge when your leg is killing you.
Definitely.
So,
yeah. So I think we should see like even more of an improvement next week for sure. And then Derek's one word. Good.
Yeah. Well, especially then, right? To think of you say the one word, it's like, oh, I can't say this word again now. So now you kind of use that word off. So to think of new ones is.
This is where it's funny to try to see, like, I just thought Derek in particular was very funny to watch with the one word because you can see his brain working and he doesn't give the one word right away where the other judges were kind of thinking of it the whole time. But he's like nodding his head and then finally he says, good.
Yeah. I don't think anything really came to mind. But
so Carrie Ann gave them a 7 and then 2 6s after that by Bruno and Derek. So this was great. This was an improvement. We'll see where we go from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty well given.
Yeah. So next we have Andy and Emma, and they performed a tango to It's Raining Men. And I thought this was such a cute bit. I loved their yellow rain jackets that they started off with. I love the troop dancers helping to rip off Andy's jacket.
Yeah, this one, I mean, his technicals are great, but
it was so fun.
But it's infectious to watch it. I mean, it's fun to watch it. Like you're not even, you don't even think about that with him. You're just kind of focused on the show and just the dance and how fun it is. And so, it's easy to just even kind of forget about the judging aspect and just watch it for the fun of it.
Just enjoy it as a fun show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see that he says he was stressed before he started dancing, and now he has this physical activity that's made him feel so much better about himself. And he says his heart has been cracked open now, and it's like a sweet moment that him and Emma have talking about this. And you could just tell how much this experience means to him, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can see how he's really starting to enjoy it, and And yeah, I mean, he's just having fun with it.
Just having
You can tell
fun.
that. So
And it's like helping his health, the physical activity part. He's happier.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, all benefits. But I thought it was funny that they went over the comments that his fans are saying, and they're asking if he's on the brink of having a heart attack. And then his response to that is like, guys, I'm not that bad. Gosh, I'm managing myself.
yeah. I mean, that was a pretty extreme take on it.
Yes. He's just very funny with his reactions to things. But yes, the dance itself, not a whole lot of movement from him. He did a little winky face and moved around a little, but not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some good movement. I mean, it's not where like right. Some of the steps are just steps versus like a dancing step, right? There's kind of a difference there, and that's a very hard thing to really learn, right? And he doesn't have that, but again, you kind of get distracted from that and not even really focusing on that because it is just fun to watch him out there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, from a technical standpoint, it's definitely not as strong as some of the others. But
So Derek says that he captures the essence of why the show is created, such joy. But he said you can move more and you can fix your frame. So I thought that was perfect. It was exactly what we thought, right?
yeah, I mean, all in all, it was an improvement from last week, right? I mean, he's improving, and nothing wrong with that. But there's a chopping block every week, so you've got to outrun that.
Yes.
But and there's other, everyone else is improving at the same time, so it's a race there. But I mean, as an individual, yeah, he's improving, he's having fun, and
He improved.
yeah.
And he will continue to improve, which I think will be great. So Bruno says, "Oh, thunder and lightning, the way you tango is a little bit frightening."
Yeah.
That was funny. He says, "But you're entertaining." So. And then Carrie Ann says her one word, "improve." And she hugs him, and she is visibly very emotional when she says this.
Yeah, I didn't understand that, but
I told you it's because he's an older man on this journey that now he's happy, he's physically active, he's really trying, and I
Yeah,
think
I
it's just
guess
like the
he's-
sweet touching thing.
right, yeah, I guess he's just touch fat. Which yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, yeah.
Carrie Ann gave them a 6, and Bruno and Derek both 5s.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was
Fair. I think that was good for this.
yeah.
I like that the 6 was in there.
Yeah, I mean, at least give him kind of help, try to give him a little bit of a boost, but
Because he's really trying. I think he deserved that.
yeah, no, I mean, I think he is very genuine with things.
So next we have Lauren and Brandon, and they performed a foxtrot to Love Fool. And I was very, very impressed by this whole dance by the two of them. And I wrote that it's evident how much she is loving this experience, and she gives such presence when she's out there dancing.
Well, I thought, just from a personal level, I thought this was probably one of the best, if not the best, of the whole night. I mean, that foxtrot was
Amazing.
executed very, very well. I mean, it's very flowy, and I mean, she just moved like water that whole time, and that was very great to watch. So no, this was one of my probably the favorite for tonight. And
it was so great, wasn't it? It was like spectacular watching it. It's like,
well, and it's right because she's kind of got that stage performance of being from a group, right? She's got that, but
stage
her
presence,
technicals
yeah.
are very strong already, and
So the two of those
continuing,
things
so.
combined, like great stage presence and then great work on the technical pieces of the dance.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the she's kind of becoming a powerhouse.
Definitely. And I think when you make a dance look that effortless, like it takes a lot of effort of the person dancing to make it look effortless to the crowd. Like the way she just flowed on the floor. You can absolutely tell how much hard work that she put into making that happen.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So Carrie Ann says she's mesmerizing and loves the partnership between the two of them, and it was smooth and had all the elements of foxtrot. And Derek said she's like a willow tree dancing in a gentle breeze. Effortless, finished her lines and arms. And she's an amazing dancer. And he said the rotating turn took him out of it a little bit. Do you know what turn he's talking about? I think that was just like a piece of the dance or something.
Yeah, I didn't see. I'd have to go back and watch it. It didn't. Nothing sticks out to me of which one he was talking about. But
Yeah, but I really like the willow tree comparison.
yeah,
That was
that
good.
was a good one.
And then Bruno had one word. Classic.
I mean,
That was a good word.
yeah. I mean, I think it was a good classic foxtrot.
And she got all 7s. I thought maybe she deserved 1 8.
Seeing that Carrie Ann gave, some 8s elsewhere, I kind of would have thought she could have gotten an 8, but I mean the 7s were at least regarded. Maybe when somebody given an 8, but nonetheless, all 7s is great. So
Okay, so next, Jordan and Ezra performed a jive to Maniac. And this was one of my favorite performances of the night for sure, because I think Jordan and Ezra improved the most week over week. From where they were at last week to where they're at this week, it was mind-blowing to me.
yeah, I was gonna say the same. I wonder if it's maybe because they just right. There's so many lifts in the first one that there just wasn't that much dancing to even really evaluate. I mean, you can evaluate the lifts, right? But
It's
the dancing's the core
distracting,
of it.
right.
Yes. And then here they just took it and they just went all dancing pretty much for the most part. That elevated it, I think, just purely from a choreography standpoint. But yeah, but the dancing though was even, comparing the little bit from last week to this week, the dancing was already so much better and technicals were great. And yeah, I think she was one of the best, if not the best this week, who improved the most. So
I thought it was great on Ezra to take the feedback for the choreography into this week to make it all about dance. And he did a wonderful job with this. And then you really could see what Jordan is capable of, which she's amazing. So,
yeah, I mean, she showed a lot of potential this week. So
and I do think she really connected with this dance. At the beginning, she says, "Oh, it's a jive. I have a lot of energy and I'm very happy about things. And I think I could really bring that to the dance." And we definitely saw that. The dance was bursting with energy. And I really enjoyed the jump she did over Ezra in the beginning. That move was really great to see. And just dance skill and choreography, fantastic. So Bruno says, she's going for the gold tonight. She was focused and determined, and she listened to the judges and then came back stronger than ever. And Carrie Ann says, yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. I don't know how many times she said that. But that was crazy.
yeah, I mean, I do think too, right? If she is kind of this bundle of energy, it's great to have, something faster pace, and that's probably, she kind of mentioned right anyway with her Olympics. That's kind of more of a pace that she's at, which I think is probably a big help as well. It would be interesting to then, to watch her do, a Roomba or a waltz or something a little more, slower, see how well.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll do something like that next week to
Balance
kind
it
of
out.
change it up. But nonetheless, though, no, this was great. And yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So Carrie Ann says she reminds her of one of her favorite performers, Tina Turner. And she said, just for the record, I thought you were amazing last week too. And then Jordan Ezra did small claps.
Yeah.
And then it's time for Derek's one word. And he said, content. And then Alfonso goes, "Don't worry, he means content in a good way, in a good way." Like he's there to provide a little bit of the explanation since Derek is not allowed to.
Yeah, well, this is why I was like, like one sentence would be great, right?
But no, I do think this really contributed to the entertainment factor because
yes, yeah,
I was
that's true.
definitely entertained with this one word deciphering.
It was because it was funny because then when he
Gave the score.
right when he was able to give his score, he then said good content, right, to be able to kind of elaborate on
Right.
it because he gets more words there. But yeah, I mean, at least there, was able to clarify and give them a little direction in what he meant.
Yeah,
so,
he's allowed to talk a little bit when he holds up his paddle, so that was good to see.
yeah.
So Carrie Ann scored them an 8, and then they got 2 7s, which what an improvement over last week.
This is where I thought like, right, like how did Jordan get the 8, but Lauren didn't get the 8? Like to me, that their dances seemed on par.
Yeah,
So I feel like I don't know why Carrie Ann gave the 8 here versus not Lauren.
I
but-
do think Lauren and Brandon deserved 1 8 in their performance as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But excited for more Ezra and Jordan.
Yeah, they'll be interesting to see her next week for sure. See what else she can improve upon.
Yeah. So next we have Corey and Jenna, and they performed a cha-cha to Baby Got Back. And I love this song. It's such a classic. Remember when we watched an orchestra perform this song because we loved it so much?
Well, one of us. Yes,
We
I
played it
remember
for
sitting here.
hours and hours.
I don't know about it was a while, but hours worth.
I was obsessed with showing it to you. I'm like, what? You've never really paid attention to this song. Please pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Let's listen to all these different versions. So I was so excited to see this song come up. Classic, but the song was slowed down, and that added to the entertainment element here as well, I thought.
I mean, this one, yeah, because the level of movement that you would have to do for this, like, we saw, we keep kind of making or poking, or not poking fun, but just, I guess, laughing out, watching when Mark Ballas did this with Kim Kardashian.
Yes, on one of the earlier seasons of Dancing with the Stars. Please go check it out on YouTube if you haven't seen this yet, because it is so entertaining because the song's at full speed.
Well, yeah, and so that's my point, right? Yeah, if you haven't seen it, then
Wait, explain the performance.
watch it. But they do it full speed because, I mean, as you know, the song is very fast, and to do it full speed is very difficult. And they did it at full speed, but Kim barely moves at all. But Mark is going full speed, but he's going like you should to this song. But I mean, it looks like he took a bunch of caffeine before doing it because you have to move that fast to it. But it's crazy. I mean, it's very impressive. It shows how well of a dancer Mark is to be able to do that. But
Definitely.
But it is just funny because I mean, he just looks so jolted by how fast he's moving with everything.
What was Len's comment?
Well, Len was like, Kim's just standing there and Mark's doing laps around her the whole time. But
I thought he said something else funnier than that.
oh, that's what I remember. But
I don't know, it was like more of a dig at that, but it was so funny him pointing it out because then
it was just that Kim's barely doing any dancing, and so Mark's compensating for her not dancing by just acting a fool and just going crazy.
He says, "I'm watching you, Mark, completely overcompensate for Kim, and you look like a lunatic out there." But there's this one part with his head where he reminds me of like those dancing cockatoos on TikTok, or if you see cockatoos like head banging to death metal. It reminds me of like a spastic parrot, because he does this like roll with his neck and head that does not look like natural.
Yeah.
But it is so funny because later on in interviews, years later, they're like, "Oh, what was your craziest dance?" And then he recalls the memory of him performing Baby Got Back. And he's like, "I didn't realize I needed to maybe dial it back a bit."
Yeah, well, it was, he's young and trying to make a name for himself on the show, and so going crazy. But
So entertaining. Please go watch it on
yeah,
YouTube.
but anyway, so they do this, and they do because I mean Corey's not gonna.
But instead, it's like dun
go
dun
that
dun
fast,
dun
but-
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, they slow it down, which is fine. I mean, this one didn't feel as bad, I think, as Mambo Number 5 being slowed down. I guess because it just is. I mean, it'd almost be interesting to watch this song. Like if Mark did this with another pro and watch them how fast they would be moving if they did this at full speed. Like it almost just looked.
It's
Crazy.
unnatural. It's like only the most talented dancer would be able to
Yeah.
do that.
But anyway, all in all, I think this was kind of very similar to Andy's, right? Like it was very fun to watch. It was just
Yeah, entertaining.
infectious with, joy, and then
Corey had a lot of fun with it. It
yeah.
was theatrical.
I mean, the technicals weren't great, but he's having a great time and just enjoying being out there and doing the dance. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like it. So.
Yeah. So Derek says it was memorable. The cha-cha had timing issues and technique issues. And then Bruno said, unforgettable. He loves his Billy Idol attitude, but he isn't sure about the cha-cha itself. And then Carrie Ann's one word, committed.
Yeah, well, and that was the one thing I kind of forgot. His cha-cha steps, not to bash him or whatever, but, it was like he was kind of marching.
Oh, yes, like he was in a marching band or something.
Which was fine. I mean, he was at least showing that. And I mean, if you're going to overcompensate or undercompensate stalls, I'd probably rather see over, at least because you're seeing the movement versus,
It didn't look like dance, though. It really did look like a march.
I mean, it was very staccato-y, which, cha-cha, it's a blended to where it's flowing, but you've got those quick movements and it still flows as that's the challenge of cha-cha. But
for this, I did think that Andy did a little bit better than Corey.
Yes, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would agree that from a technical basis, Andy was better.
They got 3 5s, which I thought was fitting.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was still an improvement, right? Because I mean, he had 1-4 last week, so he improved. I mean,
so next we have Jen and Jan, and they did a quick step to Take on Me. And Jen explains how she had a viral moment on TikTok doing this song with her and her baby in the kitchen. And it was just a very fun dance. So it was nice to see them dancing and without all those crazy throw around things that they were doing last week.
yeah, I mean, they at least took to, kind of same with, right, Ezra and Jordan, Jan and Jen, or Jan, made a choreography that was much more dance focused, which was great because I mean, they had a great quick step. I mean, this was much better choreographed than last week's.
Yeah, it was a fun dance. I thought, I mean, much like Ezra and Jordan, I mean, you could really see Jen's ability to dance this time, which was very nice to see. And it was nice to see how much fun she had with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just showed off her ability a lot better than last week.
Yeah. So Carrie Ann says, Jen is good. And then she told Jan, be careful about the lifts. And because you're new, I will not deduct a point. So when I looked this up, technically there's not supposed to be any lifts in the quick step.
Right, because it's a faster. Well, I mean, it's a faster dance, right? And so, I think if you were to try to do it, I mean, it's not allowed, right? And I think just because it is a little bit faster, but doing it, I think, would just break the flow of things, right? Unless you somehow get it to really keep up. But the way quick step flows, it would just, there's really no where you would put it in because it's just gonna break up the flow of everything, and then it's just gonna take you out of the dance. And
which that makes sense. So Jan now knows going forward what to do with the choreography. And Derek says, less time in the air, more time on the floor. Very good. Dancing much better. And he likes how they maintain body contact. And then he told her, just keep an eye on your left shoulder.
yeah.
And then Bruno's one word, twinkle toes, which I guess is hyphenated.
Right, yeah, that's where he starts getting creative with his
That's
words to be
ridiculous.
able to.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I thought she did a very great quick step. I thought she moved very well and really kind of flowed, going from side to side of the, or really use the space of the stage. So
The scores. Carrie Ann gave them an 8, and then they got 2 sevens. Sevens by Bruno and Derek. So I thought this was great.
yeah. I mean, once again, I don't know. I was a little shocked by the 8, but I mean, it was definitely sevens. But
Carrie Ann was ambitious.
yeah, well, I think too, just the good mood. She was a little more lenient because it was her first night of judging, right? So I guess there was maybe a little bit of leniency. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, it wasn't like crazy that she got the 8,
but still, no 8 for Lauren and Brandon. Then you think back to them again. How could they not get an 8 if you gave Jen and Jan an 8?
Yeah, I just think
this is injustice, like a big injustice.
I mean, it's only 1 point, so it wasn't like, and I mean, right, they're all making it through, so it's not like that big of a deal breaker. But
it
just felt weird.
Lauren and Brandon were on par or better than Jen and Jan.
Yeah.
Really makes you think. But yeah, it is hard. Everybody's doing different dances. You're comparing a foxtrot to a quick step, so.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, next, Robert and Whitney performed a tango to Move Your Feet. And this was completely different than his first dance. And in the beginning intro, he says every year he feels closer to his dad, and they showed some pictures, and it was really sweet. And he said he was finding the tango a bit more challenging, and he definitely feels the pressure at staying near the top now, which I think that's a true thing, right? Like once you get some high scores, it's like, there's all this pressure because you don't want to drop down.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if you're king of the hill, there's nowhere to go but only up, and you've got to stay at the top. So
you don't want to be Humpty Dumpty and have a great fall.
Yeah.
So during the dance, you can really see how much hard work he put into this week as well. And something just so nice about him is he always has really great facials, and he's always really into the dance. And you can feel that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole thing went very well. I mean, I'd say this was more of Whitney's, but I don't know, the breakaway where they went off and did their own thing and then did like a little bit of robotic movement and things. I guess that was like a testament to the song, but that broke me away from the dance. Like I was into it, watching them, and then that happened, and then that like kind of like, whoa, wait, what just happened? Like, what is?
So it was a choreography
why did this?
thing.
Yeah, like it just felt weird. Even I think Bruno said something about it, but to me, I think that's just a personal thing, maybe, but it just felt, because I mean, tango is generally together, right? I mean, the breaking away and kind of doing the synchronous movement,
it's different
side by side. Yeah, it just felt out of place for like the tango, and I mean that's just a personal thing, I think. But everything else was great. I mean, I enjoyed the rest.
It was good when he did the moves, even if it didn't flow. He did everything on time, and it was entertaining. But
yeah, I mean, from a technical standpoint, everything was fine. It was more of just that of just piecing together the choreography. But
he's truly having so much fun, and the energy is off the charts that he has, which is
I mean, great. It was still all in all, yeah, everything was still great, and I mean, it was still very high level
high level, and he shows up consistently and gives his all, which is great. So Bruno says it was powerful, it was clean, clear. You were the leading man, a great dancer. And then he says, you don't need all those gimmicks in the middle, which is talking about that brief robotic choreography. Right. And then Carrie Ann says, your charisma's off the charts. What week is this? You sold it and I bought it. Which is true. I mean, he looks like it's already mid-season for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's very strong. And I mean, to at least see that, right? I mean, you've seen Jive, now you've seen Tango, right? Which they're kind of pretty different. So he's got some strength, right? It's not like jive just happened to be a great dance for him, and so he's got potential to continue doing well and stay at the top. So.
Yeah. Derek's one word. Crikey.
Yeah, that was funny. That was I thought that was great for him, and that was fun. And
Which Robert really appreciated that.
yeah, even a high five or something after that. But
okay, and the scores. Carrie Ann gave an 8. Derek gave a 7, and then they kept leaning in to see what Bruno was going to give, and he kept saying 7, 7, 7, but they couldn't hear him, and Bruno lost his paddle.
this thing was. I mean, I personally love the mistakes that happen on these things. Like,
It's
I
so
don't know.
funny.
Yeah, it's just if you can handle it in a funny way, I think like we also watch Match Game with Martin Short, the new one with him leading, and he's making mistakes all the time. But like just the way he plays it off is just so funny, and I think it's just great. And this was just like one of those moments. I think that was just very funny. And then Derek tried to hand him his paddle, but he was so invested in trying to find his own, he didn't even want to take his.
That was funny.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was just it was a comical moment.
So it was a 7.
But yeah. But yeah, I mean that was basically right. I think that was the hot. No one got 2 8s. It was 1 8, 2 7s
Yeah.
for everybody. It was like the top score of the night. So.
Right. Yeah. So again, super excited about them, and this is the couple I'm really one of the most exciting couples that we have to keep a watch on to see what happens. I mean, but there's so many great people, but Robert just started off like so powerful, and he's just maintaining that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the competition's gotten
Harder this
narrower.
Mhm.
Like the gap, there's people right on his. I mean, it's pretty. It's more of an even playing field now, I would say. I mean,
Right.
there's definitely others, some heavy hitters up there.
Like Elaine and Alan,
Yeah.
because they're next. Elaine and Alan did a jive to Hey Mickey. I keep saying, oh, this is my favorite song. This is my favorite song. I love this song because it reminds me of one of our favorite movies, Bring It On.
Okay, I don't know, but let's clarify. One
Our.
of yours. No, do not let me into that movie.
No, I think I know like so many words to Bring It On. Like it's just one of those movies I've seen 1,000 times. It's so good. It's so entertaining. This is where I was introduced to that song originally. And I mean, it's a great song. So Elaine says this is an anthem for her generation. And she was a cheerleader in high school, and she played a cheerleader in 2 movies. And then Tony, the singer of Hey Mickey, comes in and talks to Alan and Elaine and gets to see some of their dance and inspires them.
I mean, that was I wonder, the workings of how that happened, because that was pretty interesting to see. She was the only one really, like out of the artists of all these people who showed up. But that must have been pretty cool for her to
To
see and be a part
that.
of, and yeah, to kind of dance the.
And for
her
Elaine
song.
to get pointers from the singer of the song, I mean, that's
Yeah, right. Because I mean,
Fantastic.
she was the architect behind how the vision of it should look.
yeah. So she was even telling her like, during the Hey Mickey part, you need to really be looking at Alan and like giving her direction of what parts to emphasize and where, and I don't know. It was just really interesting to see that.
Yeah.
So their dance, very happy, very fun. They're both dressed in cheerleading outfits, tons of energy. It was very crisp. Her moves were great. So I think all that cheerleading background came in handy for her there. And then she said she did have a heck of a time though with the jive, because she said she's really confident in the cheerleading moves, not so confident in the jive.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think she did a very good job. She showed a lot of improvement. I mean, definitely from compared to last week, but yeah, I think she did a great job with this.
Yeah, this was great. I really enjoyed it. So Derek says he's so impressed with their dancing. She's so clean on a very difficult routine. And then there's just a small detail. Watch the hands and the arms on your turns. And then Bruno says she knows how to sell it. The fan factor's through the roof. Great versatility. Just tighten up your core when you spin. So there's like small little pieces of feedback, which if I were the dancer, I would really cherish those things. So
Yeah.
Carrie Ann, one word. She just says, woohoo! Cheering as her one word. And so they got 3 sevens. Which is
And
good.
I think that was appropriate.
So Baron and Britt performed a samba to Return of the Mac. So we went back to Barron's high school for this one and met his coach. And this was a touching scene because his coach did so much for him in his life, and he didn't have a father figure growing up, and his coach really helped him to be the man he is. And so that was nice to see. And then the coach was also in the audience.
Yeah, that was fun to see him actually there and perform. And yeah, it was nice to see a little of his history.
Yeah. So he says the song reminds him of the start of his career. And then we get into the dance. And some of this was disastrous, though. It looked like he was running at certain parts and his legs were messy.
Well, this and I, you know, samba is, I think, probably personally, the hardest
Yeah,
on the
explain
show,
this.
or one of the hardest just in general of any ballroom. It's such a difficult dance, and I think to try to do it this early on, I think it's just a very risky move, right? And just that right? I mean, we already saw, like, he was kind of lower of the leaderboard last week, right? Like, not one of the strongest dancers, and just jumping into something like this early on, I think was just very difficult. I mean, all in all, I think he did a good job for the time and how early it was to do it.
He tried.
But it is a very difficult dance. So I think this was almost more like Britt should have chosen something else, I think.
How do they get assigned those styles? Is it just because the song type he picked was good for the samba, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that could be some of it.
Because maybe
I
this
guess
was
that's
unfair.
True, because, I mean, they probably want to pick something, I guess if they're picking the song, the celebrity or the star is picking the song, and then the pro has to, come up with it. But
yeah, so doing a samba this early on, do you think they could have been saved if they chose a different dance?
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what I would have chosen.
Like if he did a jive with everybody that did jives tonight.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have gone with the song. The
No,
song
it
was very
wouldn't have.
laid back. It's got a very repetitive beat, and
So no jive, no quick step. What else could you have done with it?
I mean, maybe like a foxtrot or something could have gone better. But I don't know. Regardless, I mean, I think he did, as well as he could have for just the time and having to pick that up. And, because there was like one part where he got behind, so he kind of had to run to.
Well, that's the
to
part
get caught
I'm
up.
talking about. Was that I was just
Yeah.
looking at him in one part, and it was just pure running forward and did not look like he was dancing at all. But Carrie Ann mentions this, and she said, this was tough, and the mistake really took you out of it. So I think that's the mistake she's referencing. What's so funny? She said she liked the vibe that was happening, and then he lost it. And then she says, it's hard for me to say. It was not eloquent. And then she got booed, too. So people really didn't like her giving this feedback. But those are some of the thoughts I was thinking.
Well, I'm gonna say that it is a little. I don't know. It's frustrating when they all boo right? Because they're the judges. They have to give constructive criticism.
We can't always say nice
if
things.
they, all in all, I mean,
Someone started running out there like it was the basketball court. They're not going to say, "Hey, that was a great dance."
sure. I mean, they call it. I mean, I think he still improved compared to last week, but like I said, I mean, I think this is just such a hard dance, but. But yeah, I mean, I think the booing is.
What do you think about the mistake in the middle?
I mean, I think it was just an honest. I mean,
An
to
honest
keep up
mistake.
time, to stay on pace
You'd
and
have
to
to start
do these
running.
movements. uh, It's very because you have to keep the bounce. You've got to keep the hips in this rotation
So you would
moving.
have to run to try to get back to where you need to be.
Well, it's very easy to get behind in timing with it. And yeah, I mean, he just got very behind, and so the only way to catch up was to like, and then he had to run around
I mean,
her.
I feel for him. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's
terrible.
terrible because it's yeah, and it wasn't the easiest routine either. I mean, she really challenged him with it as well. I mean, I think he did the best he could with it, but yeah, I think it just I don't know something else may have been, but I mean, hindsight's 2020. So
So Derek said some parts were good, and he said he covered his mistakes well. His arm extensions paid off. Britt, good job.
I thought the beginning of it was actually was like this his strongest part.
Yeah, the beginning of it. That actually it was good at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean they were flowing. They had good rotation. I mean they were doing it well, and then but yeah, then you got kind of into the samba walks and things, and they were a little, but then he kind of, it was just kind of hit or miss in different areas of it. But
Poor Baron then. A hard song choice. And he was trying so hard. So the scores 3 6s.
yeah, I mean I would say that was appropriate for what was kind of the theme of the night score
Yeah.
wise. So
I mean, giving him credit too for it being a harder,
yeah.
more challenging dance. All right, so next we have Whitney and Mark, and they performed a cha cha to play that funky music. And this was a fun dance. I really enjoyed watching it. These two make a great pair, too. I like the energy that they have together.
Yeah, I will say I get distracted a little when Mark goes because Mark is just such a strong dancer. It's fun to just kind of watch him go. So then it's like, oh yeah, you got to watch the star, not the pro. But
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of my favorites to just like hone in on what he's doing.
yeah, he's just so crisp and sharp with his movements, and like with this song, you definitely want that crispness with your movements, and the cha cha was great, and I mean yeah, and she did a very good job too. I mean, it was very well executed, and yeah, I mean they were technically strong, and the performance was fun as well. So
Yeah, I enjoyed this. Fun song, fun performance, great dancing technique and choreography. So Bruno says she's a hit machine. Killer cha cha, so fast and powerful, so hot he's melting. Brilliant. And then Carrie Ann says she lit up the ballroom. There's a tiny mistake in the middle with a turn, though.
yeah, I think I probably missed it because I don't know, I was probably more focused, like I said. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a good dance. So.
And then Derek clapped as his one word.
Yeah.
He's running out of steam with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. No, I think that was special to do a clap. So they got 2 7s and then an 8, and Bruno gave the 8 this time.
That was shocking. I was kind of surprised, because Carrie Ann was the only 8. I don't think Derek gave a single 8 the whole night, but
This could have been a performance that had 2 8s.
yeah,
only had
it was
one.
very shocking. Like, yeah, I guess just to see that Bruno was the one that gave the 8, but yeah, I mean, it was, I mean, I don't think it was out of place to give an 8.
So next we have Ilaria and Gleb performing a tango to What Is Love, another great song. So Ilaria talks about how fun it is to have Alec and her children come to see her dance and watch her perform. And I thought her poses were great. She had nice arms. She looked very eloquent, very professional in this dance.
Yeah, I mean, I think she did a great job, and she's continuing to improve. And I mean, she's got some prior experience, so I mean, hopefully, see her adapt pretty quickly in these different dances. But yeah, I mean, I think technically and
It was great.
showman wise, yeah, she's strong, and yeah, she did well.
So Derek says it was amazing and incredible. Her frame was great. Her heel leads needed some small work. So, like, they're picking very little things to talk to her about. And then Bruno says, it's so smooth and crisp, very well done. And then Carrie Ann's one word, lips? Which I didn't really understand this. Does she mean put more lips into it?
Yeah, this is I didn't understand this, and then she never, got to explain more about it. So this was confusing to me.
One word.
I'm pretty sure Tango can have lips because
yeah. So maybe that's what she wants
like
to see.
It's not like a thing
now.
where it was like quick step where you generally don't do lips.
So you have some people doing way too many of them, and then other people not doing them at all.
Which I don't.
But how's that critique on her? That would be like something for Gleb.
Well, yeah, it's more the pro thing, right? And they kind of, I think, both. But I don't know. I think lips are. I think it's a personal thing. I don't know. I don't really like seeing tons of them. I mean, they're fun, right? Like if I'm looking more of like a, with maybe like the pros or right the pro dances, like they do in between the stars where they get them to do little bits. I think it's more fun to see it there because it's flashy and it's exciting to watch or whatever. But like with the stars, I want to see the dancing. I mean, sure, I guess there's some lips are nice, but
yeah, the more focus on the dancing.
Yeah,
they got 3 7s.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think
it was good.
A good score. Yeah.
All right, next, Dylan and Daniela performed a samba to Macarena. And this was a song that got slowed down as well.
Yeah, this one. And everyone, everyone knows this one.
But like you said, samba is one of the hardest dances. So Dylan says when he first picked this song, he didn't realize it was a samba, which is a very hard dance. And he was very worried about losing the beat. So he picked it because Macarena was the first dance that he learned. And I thought this was really fun. They threw confetti. The beginning was really good. And he kept up. The last half looked a little messier, but he had so much fun. And I just think there was so much of an improvement from last week, Dylan, to this week, Dylan. Really trying. Great improvement.
I mean, yeah, I will say for doing the samba, he definitely did it a lot better than I kind of had expectations for. And yeah, I mean, overall, right. I mean, there were, some parts he struggled with it, but I mean, I for one of the stars to kind of go through and almost do a samba flawlessly would be very impressive. So I think for what he did, I think it was very strong yeah.
He had great movement.
Yeah, I mean, there were parts, where he definitely had the hip rotation and the walks and kind of flowed with things. And yeah, he definitely had some strong points of that.
So Carrie Ann says she's never seen a contestant quite like him. Those hips are next level. She can tell he's learning the technique. Derek says it was impressive. The whisk motion, a little wild at times. He lost steam. He wants to see more power and strength, but good fluidity. And then Bruno's one word. Well, this was not one word. Snake hit wonder.
Yeah,
was that supposed to be hyphenated twice or something?
I guess so, yeah. This is where he was getting very creative with his words.
So the score, Carrie Ann gave us 7, Derek gave us 6, and Bruno gave us 7, noting great improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was fine. The scoring.
Yeah, I mean, he really did improve. I was very impressed by this. I thought it was great for second week.
Yeah.
And not only did he show off his fun personality, he got to show off some of his dance skill, and then also that he's working really hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying.
All right, last we have Scott and Riley. They performed a cha-cha to Blue. Another classic song that I think is most famous for me in the Big Fat Liar movie, where they put blue dye in the guy's pool and then he turns blue. and they play the song, and his
Oh.
car goes out of control because they read the car manual and unplugged all the wires and hooked them up to different things. And he goes in the shower and he starts washing his hair, and they put red dye in the shampoo and conditioner, so he looks like a clown, dyed blue.
Yeah.
It's the movie with Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes, if you haven't seen it. Big Fat Liar.
Yeah.
Classic.
Right.
Well, anyway, that's what this song reminded me of. And I loved their outfits. I thought they were great. They wore the blue sunglasses and then blue outfits. They look great.
Yeah, I mean very fitting for
Very
a
fitting.
blue song.
So we learned that they are going to work to give Happy Robot in their performance. And Scott says he really wants to improve his technique. And during the dance, you can tell he was really feeling it. He had great facials. And then they slowed down this version of the song as well. So this was like blue.
Yeah, this one I wasn't as big of a fan to have it slowed down. I think I mean, once again, right? I mean, full speed would be challenging, but but and I think too, I was almost kind of thinking with him, right? This almost felt like to me a little bit of like I don't know if they actually did any dancing in their song, but their Daft Punk song that they did with Pentatonics. I don't know, this like kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was a little bit of that, and they did kind of, or at least he did like robotic movements in that. But I don't know, I could totally be making this up.
I just remember the close-ups of everybody's face, so I don't know about that. But
maybe I'm making it. I don't know, for some reason. I guess I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, I mean the robot parts kind of felt weird. I don't know. I guess just because it's. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a classic move, but it's like weird in ballroom, I guess. But
it was fun. They had a lot of fun.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of it I think was great, and yeah, I mean, he's showing improvement as well.
Yeah, I was really excited about his improvement. So, I mean, I love how into the song that he gets too, and he was like singing the song, and
yeah, I mean, the showmanship and the is definitely there.
Performance
and,
level, yeah. So that was great. So Bruno says, "Well done. There's good focus, intent, timing, and consistency was much better this week." Carrie Ann says the growth from last week and the confidence was wonderful and wants to see him taking over more space for a taller guy. So that was good feedback. And then Derek, limited to one word, blue. This is the word of the night that gave no help whatsoever if you were going to pick one word that someone used.
Yeah, I mean, this was just
blue means nothing.
Yeah. I mean, this just was just to go with the theme of everything, I guess. But I think he was just sick of tired of the what. Yeah.
So that was really funny though, and I just thought this was such an improvement. And he got 3 6s for the score, and I initially thought this was lower than what I was expecting. I thought maybe he'd get a 7 in there, but
yeah, I mean. Yeah, maybe like 1-7 or something. But yeah, that would be it, I would think.
Did you see the improvements?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he definitely was, making strides forward.
So the top of the leaderboard, Robert and Whitney and Mark. I love how Whitney's in there
Yeah.
twice.
Right.
And then the bottom, Corey and Jenna. And then you see like Andy and Emma was like 1 point above them. So then they have their elimination ceremony. And Andy and Emma are announced safe and surprised by that.
Well, I gave you my predictions before they even.
I can't believe they were so spot on. Explain how you got to your predictions.
Well, I don't know. I guess for me it was kind of easy because, I mean, Corey, right, he's been bottom of the leaderboard, so just judges point-wise, right, it's not strong. And I just don't know how much of his followers are watching this show. Compared to, right, like Andy's, I know, has a huge following from, being on Conan, so. And then, yeah, his score was lower, but he's got, right, the popular vote. I think he's such a strong contender, and that's going to hold him. And then Baron, right, I don't know how many people are watching from his fan base.
So from like a voting perspective,
And he's just the most
Okay.
popular out of those three. It probably had to be those three people, and the popular votes because they were all the lowest scoring people, and then popular votes the only one that's going to pull you out at that point. So Andy's the most popular, I would say,
which makes sense. Yeah.
out of the three of them.
So they were safe. And then the three couples at the end, Jenna and Corey, Britt and Baron, and Ilaria and Gleb, based on viewer votes and judges' scores.
That was shocking to see, though, to see Hilarious within the bottom three.
Yeah, like dance-wise, did she deserve to be there? No.
I guess she just doesn't have a great... I mean, you've told me, I guess there's a bunch of controversies with her, but she just doesn't have much of a popular vote. Because, I mean, dance-wise, I think she's one of the strongest.
And her scores were up there, too.
Yeah, but I guess she's not big in the popular vote. So.
Which I think the scores saved her, for sure.
Which that I worry, because... I guess, right. I mean, she does have the previous experience, so I guess there's like a gray area, right, of her kind of going forward. But
I mean, it could be a reason why people maybe aren't voting for her.
Right.
Which I didn't know the Blackpool competition years and years ago. She competed in it and scored a pretty high score over one of the current pros on Dancing with the Stars. So
that's true. We did see that. Which, yeah, I mean, I guess that's actually a big...
It's a big deal out there right now.
Yeah. I mean, that is...
She scored like 4 places over Emma, I think.
Yeah.
In that competition.
Well, and Blackpool, I mean, is the largest ballroom event out there for dancers. So that does, yeah. I mean, I guess that really...
Is it fair that she's in this competition then?
Yeah.
I don't know. So 2 couples eliminated, Corey and Jenna and Baron and Britt. We had to say goodbye to them, which 2 fun couples and sad to see them go in a double elimination.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pain, right? Or not a pain, but it is sad, right? Because, I mean, yeah, they had the low scores, but they were still very fun to watch. Like, it wasn't just a boring show, and it's like, oh, right, it's, kind of nice that they're out or whatever, right? It stinks to not be able to watch them because it would be fun seeing them go forward. But
Agreed.
But at the end of the day, right, it's a competition, so someone's got to make it to the top.
So next week is TikTok night. You excited?
Yeah.
And Charlie D'Amelio's coming back. Perfect for TikTok night.
Yeah, and I mean, she's one of the guest judges, right?
I don't know if she's coming back to do a performance or to judge. Oh, do you think she's judging? I totally missed that part.
I didn't see it, but I know they, with some of the episodes like to have a guest judge. And since she won her season, maybe she'd be fit as a judge. But.
Yeah, good point. So I'm excited to see what will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how TikTok week goes.
Thanks so much for joining us on A Fine Podcast.
Yes, thanks for checking us out. We hope you liked it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and check us out on social media.
That's right. Check us out and keep updated with us as we go through week 3, Dancing with the Stars.
We'll see you then.
We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Ciao.